We are on the verge of something new and wonderful in America. And it's because of who we are becoming.
If there is such a thing as American exceptionalism,
our gorgeous diversity is at its source.
Because we are the world's oldest experiment in democracy.
A nation of ancestral strangers with ties to every community on the globe.
Met here with the audacious promise that we could become a demos, one people.
It's a promise we have not fulfilled.
A promise that's threatened by growing inequality at the heart of our democracy and our economy.
But it's a promise worth fighting for.
And that's why for the past 15 years at Demos, we have advocated not only for people,
but for the very idea of the people, of one nation bound by a shared fate.
Our mission is to work for an America where we all have an equal say in our democracy and an equal chance in our economy.
Demos is an extremely important institution in American life at this time because it has an understanding of the issues that the country faces that recognizes their connectedness and the centrality of race to both of them. So you cannot solve the problems of our democracy, that too few people vote, that there are barriers to voting, that money looms too large in the political process, without also connecting them to the problems of economic inequality. They are inextricably linked.
Demos champions over-the-horizon ideas that are powerful enough to improve the lives of millions, and then shifts the narrative to clear the way for their acceptance and advocates until they take effect.
For the past 15 years, Demos has targeted the structural gaps in who participates in our nation's elections.
Demos has led the way on same-day voter registration. They've led the way on agency-based registration. They've led the way on a litigation that has helped us get some of these intransient states to do what they need to do.
Demos has worked to bring people into our democracy,
while also getting big money out.
Demos is incredibly consequential in this space because it's tying together research and data with what people understand in their gut, which is that big money, special interests have undue influence in Washington and in the halls of power.
For the past 15 years, Demos has worked to rewrite the rules that matter to the economic lives of millions.
Well, Demos' role in the mix of think tanks is essential for the progressive movement. Demos does so many studies and so many reports, which not only brings our awareness to issues we already know about, they raise issues we don't necessarily know about. Things that they've done in the area of foreclosure, things that they've done in the area of consumer credit.
You can always rely on Demos to provide information synthesized, distilled, rigorously fact-checked that applies to the foundational question that we face every day in the news about the role that inequality has on the way that we construct and run our democracy.
So we're not just talking about publishing reports or looking into trends, but we're doing that with a deep, deep understanding of how it informs the work, how it informs pushing policy, how it informs lifting all of our voices.
So Demos' groundbreaking research regarding the role that the federal government plays in income inequality was very helpful to us. The research that they did, highlighting the number of workers that are working on the federal contract, combined with the stories that workers going on strike were telling to the media, effectively were able to move the president to take action and sign 2 executive orders.
Thank you, Demos, for fighting for my workers and for my family.
Demos says in plain English the demands that we have as working people. We can take the Demos reports and send them directly to our state leaders and members, and they can go to work making the case in their communities.
In the area that I work on, what I think of as corruption, what people call campaign finance, nobody has done a better job capturing and distilling data and making the data understandable and accessible to an incredibly wide range of people. So this is an amazingly important organization that we all have to find ways to support in whatever way we can.
While helping our allies win victories today,
we're also launching big ideas for tomorrow to ensure that the America that's coming is the one the people deserve.
Over our next 15 years, we're going to put an end to the failed experiment of debt for diploma system
and win debt-free college for all.
We're going to replace big money politics with a small donor democracy. and clarify for the courts
that money isn't speech and corporations aren't people.
We're not going to let racial divisions get in our way any longer. We're going to create the tools to tackle racism in ourselves,
within our movement and in our country.
Through all this and more,
we're going to put the needs of the people, all the people,
at the heart of our democracy.
Big corporations, billionaires, they have plenty of sway in Washington. But Demos is there for those who don't have a voice. Demos is there for hardworking families who are stretching to make it from payday to payday. Demos is there for people who are shut out of the democratic process. Demos is there to make us a better country.
Our mission is to create an America where we all have an equal say in our democracy
and an equal chance in our economy.
Change is coming. Join us.